welcome back. I'm Maya,
Shane.
and this is Tap In Nap. We have Chris Smith today. Can you tell us a little bit about you and what you do? And
For sure. Yep. Yeah. My name is Chris Smith. I'm the owner and operator of 1000 Words Gallery. I am a artist. I am a community builder, and I'm a future gardener. Working on that.
That's
oh,
what's
that's
up.
so
Yeah,
dope.
working on
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. Getting in the
Mm.
garden. And what's your I guess your go to? You want to do just regular plants or you want to do food?
Right. I was definitely about to tap into that.
So there's an interesting story about that. My area, the area that we're in, where I live, where the garden is, there is like kind of a lack of overall, just like nice green spaces. But
Are you a East Sider?
I'm a near East Sider. Yep, but I'm on the East Side. There.
If
So
we could just get some West Siders, I'm just kidding.
once I get the East Side master onto the West, we get some gardens over there. But what I'm trying to do is make a space where you can grow flowers and plants that will either like derive dyes or paints, and then artists can utilize that for their art. So it'll be a more
Whoa,
sustainable,
that's
resourceful way
dope.
to have like art supplies, hopefully.
That's fire. Definitely see that building into, being able to give back.
Yeah.
You get enough out there, then boom, now it's all right. Well, you have kids that want to paint. They
For
can't
sure.
afford the painting equipment. Now
They
you
can
just,
grow these flowers and paint
Grow
with
these
the
flowers
with the
and-
flower as a dye or tint. So yeah, the neighborhood I live in, I don't know if you can grow food directly in the ground. I think there's like a lead content warning, so you have to grow above the ground. But if you grow natural flowers, it'll take
East
some of that.
side. No, I'm just kidding.
Take some of that. Threw a sign up. Sorry, no, it wasn't real. If you
I'm gonna send this one out about the West Side.
yeah, see, I don't want to get it started, but if you grow that, it pulls some flowers and some
yeah.
things will pull it out the soil, and then you
Oh,
can grow
that's-
food. So it's like I
Step by
said, more
step.
sustainable for the future.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a win-win situation. That's definitely true.
Yep.
And that's what people do anyway. You grow
Mhm.
certain stuff to get certain things,
Right.
or to take or whatever. So that's really cool. How do you feel like you influenced already? You
Hmm.
know?
Yeah, I mean, so I am a space provider. I guess that's the best way to put it. I'm a facilitator. A lot of the artists that we work with, they already are amazing in a lot of ways, and we just give them, a stage, an opportunity to kind of show their work, stand behind it. So if you're an artist and you want to work with us, let us know. But our main goal is to try to help artists kind of get their work out there and get themselves out there. So the way I influence right now really is just by making those opportunities available, as well as facilitating some of the things that people may not think are possible. We try to do our best to make it possible.
I never thought of using plants for
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so stuck on that. Like that's so cool to me because I like planting anyway.
Yep.
And so to hear that as another way to let kids in our community
Right.
hey, you can learn two skills, learn how to plant and learn how to make your own art supplies.
Boom.
There's you're really creating a space for the word I can't or the phrase I can't or no not to be there.
For real.
And I love that.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
Some kids are like, I don't even have $5 to go to the Dollar Tree
Right.
to go get basic art supplies.
Mhm.
But here I am. If I water these plants, if I do X, Y, and Z to make my garden grow,
Yep.
I can do it.
I can do it myself.
That is just it's so cool to me.
Yeah, I can go build my own garden in my backyard, and we off to the races.
That is
Right.
where
Yep.
hopefully that sinks in, and that really, I mean, you start doing that.
Yeah.
You're building everything from their creative to their patience to their work ethic to their
Right.
consistency. Because I know, I mean, I ain't never planted shit, but I know that should take a long time. You
You'd
know
be
what I'm saying?
surprised. There's some of that stuff is already up. I'm like, I got to pick some weeds because I
Yeah.
just, turn this over. But it's just a labor of love, I would say. Like, I'm more into trying to do something positive for the community than, necessarily like you saying the labor of actually doing it, which is not that great. But I know just by doing this step by step, over time is going to be the thing that does create the change that like we need to see in this neighborhood for sure.
Speaking of change, what are some challenges
Hmm.
that you personally had to overcome to be like, I am at a place where I want to help people
Mm.
get to their next level? Because that's what that is what you're doing.
Yeah. Self-doubt. I as an artist starting out, I got a lot of no's before I got any yeses. And then I had to kind of take the back route. I did exhibitions at nightclubs. I did an exhibition in a guy's basement that he set up as an art gallery. And when I moved to Indianapolis, whatever art show I could get on, I got on. And it just took a while to find places that would accept me and my art. So I just couldn't find one, so I just made one.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Cincinnati.
You're from Cincinnati.
And I lived in Illinois for like 10 years before I moved to Indianapolis.
Do you find what scene do you like the best? The Illinois scene, the Cincinnati scene, Indianapolis scene. What has helped you more on your journey?
For sure. I mean, I've been all over for kind of a while. But I actually like Indy the best because I feel like, I can actually be a part of the change that I want to see. When I go to Chicago, I have a lot of great friends in Chicago. This artist is from Chicago. And it's great because I have that resource, but I don't know. It would take me a while to get ingrained in that culture. But I'm already a few years in here,
right.
And a lot of the artists that we supported are from here. So, it's Indy for me. I want to continue to see the growth and the transition of this city into a bigger, better city, especially for Black people and minorities.
Right. And I 100% agree with you on that, especially when it comes to the art scene. People don't know, but Indy has a really dope art
it's
scene.
Huge.
Just places like Fountain Square and things like that. Like our local art scene is jumping. So dope.
That's why I'm in here, because I feel like we need more of it.
We do.
The more the better.
Definitely do. We definitely
And having these opportunities will hopefully spark something, an avenue or
right.
the thought of an avenue. Like if I pursue this at 8, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
There's places out there. My parents took me to a museum or a gallery or just an event that was promoting art.
Yeah, most of the people that we impact are young people, young Black people, and it's their first time coming to an art gallery. I would say probably about half the people we talk to, it's their first time ever coming to a gallery. So it means a lot to us that the community supports us and that we can show people that it's possible. Not an art gallery in your neighborhood, you can start one too.
Yeah.
So what activities outside of your art gallery do you like to do? What are your hobbies outside of obviously art? Turned into the biggest thing, but like, what are other hobbies?
I mean, art is my hobby. Yeah. I love photography. If anybody knows me, I've been published, purchased. I'm in museums. So I do have work that's out there. I just think that there's something about Indianapolis and the community and how everyone wants to share and kind of uplift each other that makes me say, oh, okay, well, kind of to your earlier point, I can actually help people because I have taken a few steps along this journey. Maybe I can empower some other people and we can all be great together. And that's what's really been happening in 2022. And I already know like the back half of this year and all of next year is going to be like something that I can't even really fathom right now. Right. It's just the excitement and the drive really that the artists from around here are already bringing. And we're just excited to see what the next batch of artists bring next year. And maybe 5 years down the road, some of those kids that we impacted in some of our classes or programs might be the artists featured in here. So.
Okay, what was your biggest, hiccup in starting your actual, I know the personal doubt that's kind of internal, but your external. Let's say you were just, you got it. Up here is all good.
Yeah. I would say the community is a positive and a negative. That the biggest external hiccup would have just been learning to deal with different types of people and understanding that my passion for my purpose is not going to be the same as theirs. And really just learning that when you work with people, every person matters the most. And just trying to, really do my best to utilize those people as resources. Sometimes they become acquaintances. Sometimes they become really great friends. Sometimes it just is a lesson in relationships in life. But really that has kind of been our biggest hiccup is just working with different people, different organizations. We're extremely busy because we do a new show every month. And there's probably been a lot of people who we could have connected with and we weren't able to. So, still working to try to, communicate and collaborate and try to help work with as many people as possible. Like I said, it's a positive thing, but it can also be a negative sometimes, a hiccup.
Did the pandemic impact you in any way?
For sure. Yeah, I thought my business wasn't going to survive because I opened it in December of 2019. And then from May or from March of 2020 until about 2021. So for that whole year, we didn't really have a show. But again, the community, some of the same resources that allowed me to find a space to start with, they were able to help me, like with my logo, with my website, with grants that allowed us to make art for there was a street projection. So there were several buildings on the street that would flash, they would shine light out into the street, and it was art in different ways. So my gallery was included in that. Just got creative, decided to pivot, start thinking more about ways to help versus thinking about ways to help myself.
Yeah, so that really ties into our hustle aspect of our show.
Mm-hmm.
What other hustles did you have to like do to like stay afloat, to just make it?
I sold a lot of art during the pandemic, and I'm really thankful for the people who supported me as an artist, because the money that they supported me with was the money I could infuse my community and my business with. I took a lot of trips, which, I mean, for some people that might seem like kind of frivolous, but it taught me how to appreciate cultures in different ways and really try to infuse our culture in other ways, especially in my artwork. And then when I talk to other artists, that has become my hustle now, which is like really just trying to help motivate and build people up and provide them with the resources that they need to be great, versus having a scarcity mentality where I'm always trying to take something for myself. I never really was like that, but I think that now that I have the business and the artists around me, I'm definitely more in an abundance mindset where I'm doing my best to try to get everybody that I can, not just through the door, but across the finish line.
Hell yeah. 1,000 words is where we're shooting at right now.
Yes.
If you didn't know, which you should if you watched every single episode.
Right, every single episode. You said you traveled. What was your most impactful place that you went?
Oh man, that's a really good question. I think I'm probably gonna say Colombia. Colombia has a very rich art scene, and it taught me the value of public art and how public art can spark conversation. And I think that's something that we can be better at, especially not just Indianapolis, but as America in general, is really amplifying the voices in spaces that you wouldn't normally see them in. So like murals are great, doing exhibitions, art shows, anytime there's art fairs, if there's a park and they're doing art and people are selling their art, like any of that stuff, those are the types of things I feel like we need more of. And I feel like when you go to other places, their art is more visible and accessible.
What do you think we could do as a city to accomplish that? Like more spaces, more, like outdoor space, because people kind of coming together.
I mean, it's a lot of spaces. I mean, I can name maybe 10 spaces that I know that are physical indoor spaces, and maybe even more that are outdoor installations in the Mile Square part of Indy, like in the downtown square. It's just, I think, building the one appreciation. Art is a very
I was about to hit. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, you can ask me next. I'm gonna just say that art is a very in some ways it can feel inaccessible. I think that's why people are so excited about NFTs and some of those other things, because you can get in the art appreciation game digitally, but in a physical sense, it can be a little intimidating. People can't always afford the work. They're afraid to kind of approach that part of it. So, we try to make it more accessible. You can see the work. You can buy prints. You can work with the artists over time. You can support the artists in other ways. So when they make work, they might give it to you. But most art appreciates. So we're really just we would need to build more education and more appreciation and value in the entire community of Indianapolis, I think, before you start to see more people getting out there with their work.
Definitely.
And trying to like sell it and show it.
Yeah, I feel that, because I feel like we spoke about this on another episode, and just the upbringing of the future adults being confident in taking art as a path, just isn't there.
Right.
As a Midwest state, like, that's why I thought you were going to say Chicago, which granted, I understand Indy is on the rise rapidly, but big cities, this is a known thing you can do.
For sure.
From the jobs you can get in these industries to, the ways to hustle in them and make a living.
Yeah, I mean there are artists here that are doing very well for themselves, and they haven't had to leave Indianapolis. I won't say that we played any role in that. I just know when I interact with those artists, the one thing they will always appreciate us for is our ability to facilitate their dreams and support their artistry. So, yeah, I think that it just takes time and education. If you go to New York City, there's galleries everywhere, and everybody loves going to galleries there, and it's just a part of their culture. It will be like that soon here too. It just takes time, and we have to build that community first.
Do you feel like art here in America,
Mm-hmm.
or being an artist here in America, is way different than like you said you went to Colombia or any different countries, like the it like in maybe Colombia,
Mm-hmm.
it's appreciated to be an artist,
Yeah.
whereas here it's like you want to do what?
Yeah.
How you gonna pay them bills?
How you gonna pay those bills? Like,
Yeah. I mean,
did you find that as you were traveling, like that there was a difference?
I'm an artist, and I don't use art to pay my bills. I use art as a way to express myself and try to use it as a way to try to open my mind and see things differently. And I think most artists will tell you that, yeah, it would be great to make a living off of it, but most of them are starving, thus the term starving artist. However, I think that the current events that we face as not just Americans, but as people on the earth, I think one of the few ways that we can really see ourselves through it is through art and expression. Because if we can't talk to each other, we're gonna have a hard time coming to any sort of agreement. So in that spirit, I think of artists as people who don't necessarily always gain the recognition that they deserve until maybe it's either outside of their life or outside of their practice. But that to me is just an opportunity for us to do more stuff like this. We're filming and interviewing an art gallery, but this art is still a part of this city. It's still a part of our culture. It's a young Black artist who I've known since he was 18, and I've watched his artistry progress to phenomenal levels. He did all of these pieces in less than 3 months, and they're all people that he reached out to in the past few months to get the permission to paint them. So that level of expression, his zeal for his own work, that power, that means something to Indianapolis. And the more examples of that we have, the more likely the young people and the people in the city who want to grow, they will continue to utilize art as a way to express themselves and grow.
And he's from Chicago, right?
He is from Champaign, Illinois.
Oh,
he lives
Champaign,
in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, people coming in that.
They are.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
That's huge.
We've had artists from Brooklyn, New York. We've had people from all over.
Yeah. The only one I wanted to buy was a shorty from Nap.
Man.
I got hers, was dope. Yeah. I was really messing with that.
What sets you apart from other artists in the city?
I have an art space. I don't know a lot of artists that have that, so it provides me perspective, and it helps me understand. Like I said, people. I want to make sure people feel, like they matter, like their art matters, like their journey matters, and I don't want them to stop because they don't have the support that they need. So, as an artist with the space, I do my best to try to take all comers. If anybody, most people will tell you this. If you come up to me, even at like the restaurant or a party, and you talk to me about art, I'm probably gonna talk to you about it. My goal is to try to make sure everybody has the opportunity they're looking for, even if it's not necessarily at 1,000 words.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so do you ever think you'll get into the space of like managing artists?
I don't really think about any spaces I'm going to get into anymore because whatever happens is meant to be, and I've really focused myself on the moment right now, which is really, in a way, yes, managing their expectations, but hopefully we would get them to a place where they wouldn't necessarily, need my expertise locally. But yeah, hopefully over time, as we continue to expand and go to different cities and try to deepen art markets and other places, I feel like we would have the opportunity to, get those artists to expand. And really, a lot of the questions are based around me. It's not really me in particular. It's really 1,000 words. So I always am looking for people that are passionate about this work, because if you're more passionate about certain parts of it, you might be here running this gallery in the next 5 years, and I might be somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay.
So is there anything about maybe any art scene that you've been in that just makes you not necessarily angry, but like, oh, yeah, I wish it was different?
Yeah, Indianapolis before 2020, maybe. Like I said, as an artist, I felt kind of boxed in, and I couldn't really get my work out. Maybe that was my own personal you know, endeavor, how I approach my art. But now that I have the space and I get the opportunity to interact with more artists, I've learned so much more about not only just art and indie, but like you're saying, like how do we make this something special like you see in other cities? And yeah, like I said, I think we are on our way actually, which should be not a shock, but it may be a surprise to some people.
What motivates you? What keeps you going? Because like anytime you talk to artists or anybody like that, or in the entertainment or anything like that, they get to a point where there's like, should I keep going? Should I really,
Yeah.
What keeps you motivated?
Yeah, I mean, my community, the people around me, I want to see people win. The neighborhood I live in is kind of changing. There's a lot of people who have access to things, and there's a lot of people who don't have access. So, like with the garden, I own property, I manage property. I try to make it so that the person that, that I rent to is like, they feel like they're a part of the community. They don't feel like they're getting, like ripped off or anything. So I'm really big on trying to make my community better. And that's what motivates me to do this work. There's a lot of times where it's things that I don't necessarily like to do, like mop the floor, it's just parts of the job that, I just have to do because I don't have a cleaning person yet. But, we're getting there. We're working our way up. But in the meantime, like some of those more, menial, more detail-driven type jobs, like it just gives you a greater appreciation for the impact you actually are having in the community.
We talked. Oh, sorry. We talked a lot about your art. Is there anything else you do outside of art?
Yeah, man, I do a lot. I really try to be active as possible. The property thing has kind of grown on me lately. It's kind of like almost like a new hobby, but it allows me to understand the history of where we are and think about some of the way things are now and why they're that way. And as I am able to learn more about Indianapolis and maybe some of the things that were, set up a long time ago,
right,
I can try to have a more positive impact on the future and make those like broad, I guess, more impactful moves.
Right.
And hopefully that's the type of thing that inspires other people to do the same.
So you inspire a lot of people, clearly. Who inspires you?
My single mom. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My mom is a
shout out to the moms.
Right. Yes. Shout out to the moms, man. My mom is just my motivation because I feel like we talk a lot, and the one thing I really respect about her is her hustle. Like whatever it takes, she's gonna get to it. And I feel like that is something that I can really admire about her. And when I'm having some times where maybe I don't want to push through some of those tougher tasks or some of those more menial tasks, like I just think about her. I know she's gonna, I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but like she's gonna make sure that if the bed needs to be made, like she's gonna take all the mattress and everything up. She's gonna sweep under the bed frame. She's gonna pick all the rugs up in the room. She's gonna make sure that each detail is done at the highest level. And because of that, her work ethic speaks well for her. A lot of people speak highly of her and the work she does. So, my mom inspires me, man. Really, my family in general, but more specifically, my mom, her hustle.
Okay, yeah. So I had a question because
yes, sir.
I feel like I'm kind of disrespecting the name a little bit.
Okay.
I say 1,000 words. Do we need to say the 1,000?
I mean,
because the 1,000 words with the W sound and the W sound in the front, it kind of rings. That's why I was kind of like, man, have I been saying it wrong?
I mean, a lot of people will say 1,000 words indie or 1,000 words. I mean, really, what we want you to think about is, what it means to the city and what 1,000 words really means. But our gallery and our business is 1,000 words gallery.
Okay,
that's who we are. Yeah, and it's 1,000.
So why?
Why
is that the name?
That's a good question. It's a great question, actually. I think when I first started on this journey, I was a Instagram photographer, I guess is the best way to put that. And I really thought what was lacking was those personal conversations and impacts. So when I came with the first concept for the gallery, it would feature my photography, pieces from my travels, pieces from the city. And then we would have small conversations based around themes like color, structure, perspective, style. And it was just some curated conversations that went really well before the pandemic started. So the name really was not just about the work itself, but the sense of connection you get when you both look at a piece and you may think differently or similarly.
Right.
So it's all about that conversation that ensues because of art's influence, and that's really where you get 1,000 words from, because it should be a conversation.
Were there any other names that you were kind of
No,
up in the air? Okay.
zero.
Okay.
I knew
That's
what
what's
I
up.
wanted, I knew when I wanted it, and I knew what I wanted to call it.
I know that's right.
It just was very hard to do all of it, but here we are.
What's a single project that that you were like, this is my best work, this is my favorite project, and what's the project that you were kind of like, maybe if I would have taken my time, it would have went better.
Oh, okay. Those are kind of revealing questions to ask a new business owner. But I mean, I'll be honest as I can.
That's what we like here.
Yeah, for sure. I'll try to keep it 100, keep it real. I would say this might sound kind of cliche, but I feel like our best project is always the last one we did, because it just seems to be getting better at a rate that I can't really quantify right now.
Hey, it's a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's real. I remember in March, like I was almost brought to tears, because once I saw art up on the wall, I just couldn't really fathom that this is what we were doing. And then in April, and then in May, and then just like, okay, every month is like more and more impressive and impactful. So it's really cool to see that level of impact, to see that many people be touched, come in and have like an emotional response to the art. Those are all things that I really don't. It's hard for me to count, right? That project of doing a new show every month is not my idea. That's Greg. Greg is the curator, basically like the program director of our art gallery. And Greg has a great relationship with a lot of artists already. And like I said, a lot of these artists are already pretty talented people. So we're just doing the things that they maybe kind of need help in order to make a show possible. So I don't take a ton of credit for really like great or bad projects, but I will also talk about a bad project. We have a movie night here on, well, it used to be a movie night. We moved it to a Sunday morning movie and brunch. And it just hasn't really netted the response that we thought it would.
Because everybody messed up from Saturday.
That's probably it. Or Sunday fun day. I'm not here to judge. Or church. I know a lot of people go to church on a Sunday.
What time is that? Because
it's at 12, man. It's usually at 12. But
you hear that, everybody?
12 on the first Sunday after the first Friday. We have just maybe thought about some different ways to have that conversation. But you also just have to know, when you try something and it's not the thing that you are known for, maybe it's just not the thing that you need to be worried about. So as we continue to work through that project, that is just a juxtaposition of these great openings we've had, a lot of the great conversations we've had, and a lot of the great classes we've been able to teach.
Okay, so with the feeling, I don't want to say I hate the word failure.
Yeah.
With the feeling of missing.
Yeah.
How are you rolling with those punches?
I mean, I'm stronger than ever. I'm out here, like Ali, just bobbing and weaving.
No, but how do you? Because I see you out here working. This is a hustling man right here.
I wake up and look at every day like it's a new opportunity to do whatever I want to do. And on those days where I do miss, I mean, at first it used to be embarrassing, it used to hurt, but like, it is what it is. It's a strength builder. So if you ask me how, I just push it up and go on to the next thing. And a lot of the things we do are highly successful, and the lift is very light because there's so many people around. But sometimes it just is me or Greg, and it's just us, and we just have to figure it out. So it's just taught me a sense of resilience, and just saying, hey, it could be, even if I'm at the worst, or the gallery is at its lowest point, it's still at the highest point it's ever been. We're just at a low point. So
that's a great way to look at it.
Happens every day,
and that's what we want people to understand, right? Is bad things happen, not bad, but low times happen to everybody,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really about how you decide to approach him, and how you decide
keep
to
shooting
handle
shots,
man. And you're gonna make one.
You're gonna make one.
Feel me? And that could be that one.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of low points, how do you? I like the phrase "fill your cup up."
Yeah.
Because you obviously give so much. So.
For sure. Yeah, my faith, my family, my friends, those things kind of keep me grounded. I talked to you about my conversation with my mom. She always has like a lot of great life advice, but she always, she's a mom, so she's gonna stay concerned about me.
Of course.
But having my friends around, being a part of Canal Squad, being a part of my neighborhood association in my community, other events in the arts community in Indianapolis, not only gives me a sense of fulfillment, but it also allows me to, to really take my passions to the next level.
Right. Did you always feel like, or did you always know that you were going to incorporate art in your life in some aspect?
No.
So
did not.
When you were younger, what was your childhood dream?
I don't know. I thought I was gonna go to some sports league, probably the NBA, but I was only like 4'6" in high school, so that wasn't gonna work out.
I thought I was gonna be in the NBA too.
Hey, that's what's up. You gotta dream big,
yes.
you know.
Before I knew that there was a WNBA, I was gonna play against Jordan, but that's neither here nor
there.
You
probably would have got Jordan though. I don't know if he could have messed with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know what's up.
Thank you.
No, I was a professional athlete, collegiate athlete, and I ran track for as long as I could for a living until I realized I couldn't. Mm-hmm. And then when I I tell people that like photography and art kind of found me because I wasn't really looking.
Right.
But yeah, I want people to know that I could never pick a major until it was like I had to pick a major. Then I picked a major and I graduated and I was like, oh, this wasn't that bad. It was the same kind of with track. I ran track until I did everything I could to be great. And when I was done, it was a good time to put it down. And with photography, I still shoot some, but on the art gallery, I don't get the opportunity to create as much as I want to. That's fine. I can put that down and I can always come back to it. And right now, it's really just about strengthening my community and showing people that you can be whatever you really want to be. You just got to do whatever you put your mind to. This will be a season of my life, and I'm sure there'll be another season where I, manage artists or something. I don't know.
So positive.
I'm not too worried about tomorrow.
Okay, because that's kind of what I was going to ask you, or at least with 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Like, where do you, 1,000 words? Where do you see?
You got it's like a colloquialism because like some people just say thousand, like you said.
I definitely
and
but
give me $1,000.
Yeah.
They could be like, give me $1,000. So it's fine.
But no, that 1,000 words really rings. That's why when you started saying it, I was like, oh man, I think I've been fucking this up.
You all good. Alliteration. Keep it rolling.
I just want to go back to one point. So where did you go to college and what did you actually major in?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know if it matters. No, I'm joking. I went to University of Cincinnati. I grew up in Cincinnati. I got my master's at Cincinnati. I ran track at Cincinnati. All of my great friends and lifelong relationships that I feel like are, beneficial to my life and keeping me on a straight path, especially with the struggles of starting a, small art gallery in a middle-sized city. Cincinnati is like, I'm just Cincinnati to the core. That's just where I'm from.
Right.
And as an Indianapolis kind of implant, I want to just bring my knowledge and my experiences. But I studied education. That's what my master's is in. Yeah, I always like to teach people, help people out, try to get people to realize their full potential. And while I don't necessarily teach at the gallery, I do get the opportunity to try to impact others positively. Yeah.
That's what I rock with, man, because it's the positivity. Everybody who we've had on this show, and I know the people in the future with hopes, want to help build, want to help promote, want to give their gems that they have. Speaking about that, what is a gem that you could pass out?
Yes.
Oh man, I don't
like
wanna,
I don't
want to.
Come on, Mr. 1,000 words.
I got a lot of them.
I'll let you do two.
Okay, the first one is that people are power, and I think that this is a prime example of it. We all have different endeavors, but if we come together, we can amplify each other's voices. So when you work with people, I mentioned this earlier, like you don't have to be the best at it, but you should work to make them kind of the star of the show. So that's one thing I would say if you are a young person out there or anybody that wants to get in this kind of business where you're going to be working with people constantly, sometimes you have to, you got to put that smile on your face. Mm-hmm. You really got to understand where they're coming from before you start to think about where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. And just try to make the other person feel valued. You don't understand like how far in life that'll take you.
Almost definitely.
The other thing, and this is something that I more so learned in my business, and that is it's not always about just the people, but sometimes it's about if you imagine all those people are on a bus. If a bus is going in one specific direction, some of those people probably shouldn't either be on that bus or maybe they just are in the wrong seat. And I think that knowing when to rearrange those people in your life, maybe stop the bus and let some off and let some new ones on, constantly being aware of the people you keep company with and the type of mindset that you surround yourself with is going to always impact you as a person. So, you win with the people around you, but you also have to be very vigilant about keeping winners around you. And that would be the two gems I would drop.
Yeah, them was
listen,
nice. Them was
hot
heavy.
fire. Yes,
Yeah.
that was good.
Thank
That
you.
was good. So, can you tell us about where we can find you? What are your socials?
Yeah, so I am on all of them. I don't check Facebook like that, but my grandma does. So if you want
Wow.
Hit
get
up
in
Grams
contact
if
with
you can.
Thelma, just send me a Facebook message. I don't really think you can find me on Facebook, but you can find a gallery on Facebook. It's 1,000 words.
Just Google or just look
Gallery.
up Chris Smith.
There you go.
And see what you find.
See what
You
you
know
find.
how
They better start sliding me to the top of the Google. I've been spending money with them, but hopefully they put me in the search. But yeah, no.
But go ahead. Yeah, with the
Facebook is 1,000 Words Gallery on Facebook. On the Instagram is 1,000 Words Indy INDY. The website is 1,000wordsindy.com. Me on Instagram. If you want to see some of my photography, you got to scroll all the way to the bottom because my Instagram right now is about me and my corporate outfits.
Yeah.
That would be Two Brains, TWO Brains with a Z on Instagram. That's how you find me on the internet. Don't go further than that. Don't try to find out where I live, but you can pull up at the art gallery because it's 3328 East 10th Street, Suite C.
He doesn't do stalkers, everyone. So
nobody should. Actually,
I was gonna say
Yeah,
you are toxic if you like you a good stalker.
Don't pull up. Come to the art gallery. Shake
Sometimes you want a
hands.
good one.
That's commitment.
Well, thank you so much
Yeah, for sure. Thank
allowing
you.
us to use your space and letting us interview you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really am happy to be a part of this, and I hope that we can really drive that impact in the city we want to see.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. I'm Maya,
It's Shane.
and this is Tap In That.
Yeah. Hold on, bruh.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
That was awesome.